Hello everyone, my name is Norvia. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be flipping through my reading journals, both for this year and last year. Opening up my journal, the first page is my index. I've used the same journal for both 2024 and 2025, and I will continue to use this journal until all of the pages are filled up. I only started this reading journal of August of last year, so that's where it starts. I have my yearly spreads, and then the months of August, September, October, November, and December. You'll see I start my 2025 reading journal. I have my yearly spreads and each month of the year so far. On the left side of the page, you'll see there's a pocket. I like to print out the covers of books I'm interested in and keep them in this pocket. If I ever don't know what to read next, I reach in blindly, pull out a cover, and that's the book I'll read next. Flipping the page, you'll see my 2024 reading journal cover spread. Next to that is my Books of 2024 page. I left space for the book number, the title, the author, and the rating, so that I could see it all on one page. Luckily, I had just enough space for all the books I read this year. Moving on, you'll see my book bingo. In this bingo, I had 25 spaces of book tropes I wanted to read. I did complete a bingo by reading a book over 600 pages, reading a physical book, reading a 2024 new release, a classic, and a standalone book. On the right side of the page is my book bracket. You'll see my winning book of the year was A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I liked the setup, but I didn't like how it only gave me my top one book of the year, so I decided to change this for next year. I was lucky that I started this journal in August, so that I could complete this bracket for the entire second half of the year. The next page is my series tracker. Some of my favorite series from this year was ACOTAR, The Empyrean, Crimson Moth, Six of Crows, and The Murderbot Diaries. I tracked all of the series that I read in 2024, and when I set up my 2025 tracker, I only kept tracking those series I was going to continue reading. If I didn't like the series, I didn't include it. The next page is my Maybe Next spread. I got this idea from Aaron Smith. This is usually called a to-be-read spread. However, I'm more of a mood reader and don't like the idea that I have to read something next. This page lists out all of the books I was interested in reading, and you'll see I did check a few off. However, I track all of this information digitally now, so I didn't include this page in my next yearly setup. Moving on, we come to my first monthly spread. You'll see this is very similar to my current setup, and that includes a calendar, a key, a spot for book covers, and a spot for reading stats. Flipping the page, you'll see the start of my review spreads. Starting out, even if I really liked a book, I only gave each book half a page for its review. You'll also see that whenever I had extra space, I continued decorating with the same elements from the monthly spread. Moving on to my September setup, this theme consisted of lots of grays and blacks along with white and gold moon stickers. A Court of Mist and Fury was the first book that got a full page for its review. You'll also see on the next page, for This Is How You Lose the Time War, I included one sticker that related a little bit to the book. Flipping the page again, you'll see Heartless Hunter was the first book that got a decorated spread from me. Almost every book from this point forward will get a decorated spread. October was a theme that consisted of pink and red floral washi tapes and gold flower stickers. You can really see how much I loved A Court of Wings and Ruin, as this got 2 full pages. Also, you'll see that I had so much to say, I even had to flip back in my journal and find an empty spot to continue my review. Next were decorated spreads for Graveyard Shift and Six of Crows, as well as The Night Ends with Fire and All Systems Red. For November, the only decorative elements I used was from a PET tape from Journal Say. Flipping the page, you'll see I have a little tip and review of The Perfect Sun. This book was actually read in December, not November, but for a couple reasons, I decided to put it in here. Flipping the page, A Court of Frost and Starlight is the end of the books read in November, and What Hunts Inside the Shadows is the start of books read for December. I wanted a cute theme for December, so I used stickers from 3 different sticker sheets from Sticky. Along with all the normal books I finished in December, I also included a book cover of the Bible. This is the first year that I read the Bible all the way through, so I wanted to commemorate that here. Along with spreads for Rhapsodic and Ask for Andrea, I also completed 2 full pages on my review of my thoughts and feelings on my trip through the Bible. Flipping the page again, this is my last spread of 2024. This is my stats page and contains stats for how many books I read, how many pages I read, my average rating, and my least and most shelved books. There's also a pie chart for the moods I read, along with a key, and also a bar graph for the different genres I read. My least and most favorite books are included as well. On the next page, I have a bar graph of star ratings. I recorded the least time spent, the most time spent, the average time to finish, and the average length of my books, along with more pie charts for the pace, page number, and formats. Finally, I've included my longest and shortest books of the year. Moving on, this is my cover spread for my 2025 reading journal. Next, I have my books read in 2025 spread. This spread is very similar to the one I did in 2024, as it has space for the number, title, author, and rating of the book. I've expanded this spread to fit 2 pages, as my goal is to read more books this year than I did last year. Next is my on the shelf page, where I've included spaces to track 40 books. First, I color in each book based on the star rating I gave it, and then record the title on top. On the right page is my top TBR list. This spread contains the top 12 books that I most want to read this year. Once I've read each book, the star rating will go either above or below each book cover. The next pages are my book bingo, along with my bingo prompts. I liked my book bingo from 2024, but it was a little too easy to get a bingo for me. To be able to fill in a box, first I have to read a book that matches one of the prompts on the right page. Then I'll peel off the washi tape for that specific prompt, and underneath it tells me which box I need to fill in on the left page. This way is a little bit more fun for me, as it's more up to chance and less up to myself to be able to get a bingo. These next 2 pages will determine my top books of the year. On the left is my prioritization matrix. I got this idea from Joshi Koren. Once a month is over, I'll fill in what my top book of the month was. For example, January's top book was One Dark Window, and February's was Once Upon a Broken Heart. When comparing One Dark Window to Once Upon a Broken Heart, One Dark Window came out on top, so I record that in the matrix. I've also left space for totals. At the end of the year, I'll total up how many times each month won. Then I'll be able to order each book from greatest to least. On the right, I'll print out book covers so I can see what books were number 1, number 2, number 3, and so forth, all the way up to 12. My last yearly spread for 2025 is my series tracker. You'll see I expanded this tracker from 1 page into 2. Along with all of the series from last year, I've also started reading the Shepherd King duology, the Bridge Kingdom series, and the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Flipping the page, we move on to my monthly setups. This setup contains a calendar, a key, a spot for stats, and a spot for book covers. I've also just noticed when recording this, I didn't put any star ratings below the book covers. After I'm done recording, I'll have to go put that in. You'll see I really enjoyed the book One Dark Window. It got 2 full pages along with a lot of decoration. Flipping the page, we move on to February. I set up and tracked this theme in 2 previous videos. If you'd like to see it, they're going to be linked in the description. My most recent spreads are reviews for The Bridge Kingdom, Once Upon a Broken Heart, and The Traitor Queen. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in my next video.